white noise metal with that BS dude, Brian Shields.
Brian Shields out here in front of Geraldine's in West Springfild, Massachusetts.
West Springfield, Massachusetts, there, guy. Massachusetts, guy.
Kid. I can't talk like that. I'm sorry. I'll have to practice. No, I said before. I said before I came out here, I wondered after 8 days if I'd be able to spell Massachusetts without a spell, but I don't know. Probably not. Anyway, sick show tonight. Really enjoyed it quite a bit. Chris and Chris here from Acaro. So I before the show I had the chance to interview Brian Fair, and he could not say enough wonderful things about you guys.
He's a main squeeze.
So
we cuddle up in his dreads all the time, man. We all live in there.
Just want to be in there.
What you do in your private life is really none of my concern. I'm just here for the music, man. But tell me a little bit about the background and the history of Acaro.
We've been together roughly 2 years. We have members from all over the U.S. and Chile. Felipe Roa, guitar player. He's from Chile. Kevin Smith from New Hampshire. Chris LeBlanc,
Medway,
Massachusetts. And Jason Fitzgerald from Blackstone, Massachusetts. Original member of Overcast with Brian Fair.
Gotcha.
And I am from Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay. And how did people from Chile and Virginia and New Hampshire and Massachusetts all come together to create this sick band?
Fate. MySpace, Facebook, and Destiny and Love and Luck.
So you guys have a record coming out, it sounds like.
We do. Our record, we just got the master back this past weekend that we were phenomenally happy with. We recorded with Benny Grotto, who is based in Alston, Massachusetts at Mad Oak Studios, mastered at New Alliance Studios, also in Cambridge, and we can't even describe how excited we are.
Well, can you describe what the listener's going to experience when the record comes out?
Well, what we tried to do, it's an 8-song LP. We tried to take a page out of Slayer's book, get 30 minutes. Smash you in the face, do not relent, and then we let you breathe when we're done. When it's done and over with, that's what we want. We wanted to try to create as much of a live experience with the album as we possibly could. Live, we try to have as much energy as possible. We try to smash everybody right over the head with love, but not relent and not give them a second to breathe until it's done and over with. We try to do the same thing with the album.
Excellent. What's the songwriting process like?
It's different. It varies a lot. It depends. Normally what will happen is either I or Felipe will come in with riffs, or how we like to do it is to keep it from getting messy. We'll try to structure a whole song on our own, you know what I mean? And I'll either bring it to Felipe, but normally the process would be either me or Felipe, one of the guitarists, to Jason, the drummer. We just mess around with it a little bit, and normally we try to get it solid. I'd say we try to get it solid between 2 guitarists and a drummer. And then we present it to the rest of the guys and hope to hell they like it, because sometimes they don't, and sometimes they do, but we all seem to put our own thing on it, you know what I mean? It comes together, and that's kind of what gives us our sound, which you'll hear on the album. It's a little different. It's not too different, and it's something everybody can relate to in the scene, but it's a process, though. It is becoming the process, like our single that's coming out for the video that we'll send you.
So I assume once the record comes out, you guys are going to be on the road like crazy?
We hope so.
We're going to try to live in a van for as long as possible and come and see everybody and meet everyone, and just
love nothing more than just a year straight. Maybe 2 weeks off, and that's it. Just get it out, because that's what you got to do. Anyways, it's so tough right now. But
I don't want to make it sound like going to work, but we want this to be our job.
Right.
This is what we want to do.
It's a dream.
So we want to get up and go to work. In our heads, getting up and going to work means driving for however long we need to drive for that day. Load in, get set up, sound check, go, have fun for the rest of the night, and do it the same thing the next day.
Yeah.
Get up and do it again.
Well, I mean, and it's great that you guys have the relationship that you do with Brian, considering, you know, what Shadows Fall has done on the business side of it over the last record or two, and really, you know, they're one of the first really big bands out there to go and do the DIY thing. And is that something that you think you want to do as well?
We're gonna look at every single option for this album and see what's going to be the best way. Obviously, they have a history behind them that enabled them to go in that DIY way. That obviously it's a.
But you're seeing bands like Periphery out there these days that are also doing that are licensing their music, you know, to the labels and that sort of thing.
Right.
So you don't have to be a big established band to do that.
But when you got to have a name, you got to have a little bit of love behind you. In an expanded way,
and you need guys like Brian Fairs. Like tonight, Brian. For us, this is actually the first time we've direct supported a national act, and for Brian to hook us up with this is huge. You know what I mean? And they really dug it tonight, which was good. And but like the guys from Killswitch and stuff, it's like a huge shout out to them because they just they have so much to do with their own projects and with what they're doing, but they show continuous love and support for the underground, being us. You know,
for all of us. You know,
and for them to show up to, like you said, Geraldine's bar, and like people like you coming out from California. I mean, that's the love that he's talking about. That you know what I mean. It's you need that backing. You need a name, and they're the name. You know what I mean. You gotta have that.
You don't find that in any other scene really. You look at punk rock, hardcore, and metal, and those are the scenes where you've got anybody who is up here supporting these kids, us kids that are down here, in as much possible way as they can.
Well, they rely on the new generation as much as we rely on them. You know what I mean? Something new has to come out all the time. That's the hardest part about it, is that they're constantly in the same struggle with us, trying to put something new. I mean, like Killswitch, and they're in the same boat as us with a little bit more backing. And they're always trying to get that next album out. I mean, and with metal and hardcore, like he's saying, I mean, it's a never-ending battle. I mean, it's not the kind of genre that you can just write a hit and it's going to sail for. You know what I mean? Like this album. I mean, right. And the brutal truth of it is, the fact is that no matter how good this album that we're going to put out, which we do believe in it, and it is really good, but it's not going to last for more than 6 months. You know, there's going to need to be more. There always has to be more, and I think
always has to be a follow-up.
And I think that's why the big names, they support such the smaller guys like us, because they believe, you know, because they need us just as much as we need them. So it's a big family.
So finally, I do a segment in my interviews called "Shit We Like," where I ask the bands that I'm interviewing, what would fans of Acaro name a band that you think that they would like that perhaps they haven't heard of? We're not talking Shadows Fall here. We're talking
some underground
bands maybe that you've toured with, people that you've been around.
The Summoned is a really good band from Boston. They're Widow Sunday. They're really good. They really love them. They actually just did a video too. It's what is it? Forever Sleep. It's called Forever Sleep, and it's off their album Rusted Veins. And they're really awesome. Really tight band. And they
have
great
fun.
energy.
They have fun.
And
that's what this is all about. That is the idea. And, get up there, have fun, play your stuff, and let that energy come out, and everybody's going to dig it. Everybody's going to groove on it. Another band, there's some amazing metal bands around here.
They really are. A lot of.
We're out in Western Mass right now, so we're going to mention Western Massacre and Darkest Days. They played tonight as well. We've got in Boston Necronomichrist, Scalpel, Scaphism. Like, there's so many really good bands.
Quality musicians, unbelievable musicians in Boston, and just Mass in general, but it's just, there's so many of them.
All right, gentlemen, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.